Alright.
Hey guys.
Hey! The topic of this video is how do you get out of a car loan that you are upside down in? As we did this, I did this once. Actually, before I met you, I did this. And here's the thing, because one of the biggest topics, and I know Dave has said this several times, when you start to talk about your debt and what debt do you have, if you've ever watched Dave's show, listened to his radio show, watch it on YouTube, one of the first questions he'll ask people is, do you have a car? Do you have a car payment? How much do you own the car? And as soon as he hears the debt that you have on the car, as opposed to how much you make or what your full debt ratio is, he'll most of the time he will say, sell the car.
Yeah.
Sell it. That is a fast way to dump a lot of debt.
Yeah, it really is.
But what happens is a lot of people, especially in the world that we live in, because we live in such a wonderful world that teaches you how to get in debt, stay in debt, until your eyes bleed.
Golly.
I'm just surprised at how many car commercials there are.
Oh, yeah.
When we're watching TV and we, because we DVR everything and we click through, and it's like the last two commercials before you get to the show again are always car commercials. Always. No money down, and it's just, they teach you how to get in debt. Come buy this beautiful, shiny car. First thing you need to remember is never buy a new car, okay? Look, I used to sell Kirby home cleaning systems, right? A lot of people call them vacuum cleaners. But if you've ever sold Kirby's, they're Kirby home cleaning systems. Well, what I tell a lot of my friends now, I would definitely recommend, if you want to buy a new one, do it, but negotiate the price down a little bit, because you don't have to pay retail ever on a Kirby. But I would say if you don't have money to buy a brand new Kirby, then go to a vacuum store, a Kirby vacuum store if you can find one, and buy a used one. Because you can get it for like 25% of what the retail is, and it may only be 6 months old to a year old.
Right.
And you save a lot of money. It's the same concept with a car. Don't ever buy a brand new car. Let some other stupid idiot take that hit themselves. There's other people out there that have plenty of money. Let them take that hit. You go buy a used car. But if you find yourself in a situation where you are upside down in your car, but you've got to sell it, you've got to get out of it, please, don't just let it go back. Don't let it be repoed. First of all, I'll tell you what's going to happen if it gets repoed. If it gets repoed, here's what happens. The lien holder who you've borrowed the money from will take that vehicle and they'll take it to an auction, an auto auction. There's auctions all over the country. Every city has an auto auction. They'll take it to the big city and they'll put it in an auction. And the problem with that is they are going to get the absolute least amount out of that vehicle that they possibly can get. Because at an auction, they've just got to get rid of it fast. And all these people there, these dealers that are buying these cars, they're looking for the best deal. And they're going to buy it dirt cheap. Why is that important? The reason that's important is because after your car's repoed and it's gone through auction and they've only, let's say it's a $10,000 car, that's what it's worth. Let's say you owe $14,000 on it. It's a $10,000 car. That's what it's worth. At auction, it's probably only going to go for probably $6,000. Maybe possibly even $5,000, because it's a repo. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point at some auctions, because if there's an influx of cars, that they may get it for $4,000. Well, what happens at that point? Well, you owe $14,000 on it. They got $4,000 out of it. Guess what? That lender is now going to come back to you and try to get the other $10,000 out of the car. Let's say they sold it really good. They sold it for $6,000. Well, you still owed $14,000, so you got $4,000 on top of the value, plus you got $4,000 that they couldn't get back out of it when it went through auction. So they're going to come collect $8,000 from you.
Even if you're bankrupt? Even if you file... Oh, no, we're not filing bankruptcy.
We're not filing bankruptcy. That's a last resort. I'm talking about how to get out of a car if it's just been repoed.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
So you don't want that scenario. You don't want a lender coming back to you because they're going to come back to you and they can put a judgment against you. They can garnish your wages and they can collect a certain amount, a percentage of your money out of your paycheck every time you get paid. They can just take it right out of there. They also, when the judgment is cast, it's very possible they can freeze your assets inside of your bank account. And it will freak you out if that ever happens. So don't put yourself in that situation. If you're in the car upside down and you can't make the payments anymore, you have a couple of options. Here's what I would suggest you do. I would suggest that you put the car, get ready to put the car up for sale to an individual. Okay? Don't let it get repoed. Go to your lender. Sit down with them and negotiate with them. You can even do this over the phone. I did this over the phone with a truck one time years and years ago. Because I used to work for a car lot in the detail area, and I learned a lot about car sales while I was there. Go sit down with your lender or over the phone and negotiate with them and tell them your situation. You say, listen, I can't afford this car anymore. I can't afford the payments. I don't want you to repo the car. So what I'd like to do is I would like for you to allow me to sell the car and give me a lien release, and let's finance the remainder of the balance that I owe on the car. So let's say you can, because the car's worth 10, you can get 10 out of it instead of 6 at the auction.
Right.
Now you've sold the car to an individual for $10,000, and now you only have to finance $4,000. Financing $4,000 with your lender at a much smaller payment is much better than having your lender come collect from you twice the amount of money and garnish your wages and put you through the stress of all of that.
That's true.
Now, if you're still in a situation where you cannot, you can't, your credit's bad and you can't finance that, they won't finance that $4,000 for you. Well, you could always try to find somebody that would be willing to take the responsibility of your loan, not just from you, but to go to the bank and say, I'm going to assume this loan, sign the loan over to that person where they are 100% responsible for it. Never trust somebody say, yeah, I'll pay for your car for you.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to pay for it. It's not in their name. And then if they stop making payments, then you're still up a creek without a paddle. But you can have somebody assume your loan. You can take that person to the bank and you can have them assume the loan that you have. And then if you can't do that, one of your last resorts is filing bankruptcy. And I would definitely make that an absolute last resort. That is a very rigorous.
Would you say that is better than having the car repoed?
Filing bankruptcy? If it depends on what your current scenario is financially and what your credit status is. I don't ever recommend anybody filing bankruptcy because I feel that you need to pay your debts, but that has happened to a lot of people, and it happened to me years before I met my wife here. I got into a situation that was extremely difficult in life, and I felt there was no way out, and so I filed bankruptcy. And I'm going to tell you what, that was one of the most difficult times to get through in my life. And it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work to do that. So if you can avoid that stress in your life and make some good decisions in getting out of the debt that you're in, selling the vehicle that you're in, refinancing the balance with the lender. If your lender won't, try another lender. Try somebody else. If your credit's good enough, you can go get a signature loan somewhere else. A local credit union is a good place to be, a good place to start, and go there and see if you can get a signature loan for that, and just alleviate the stress that comes. What a lot of people do is they just avoid issues.
Yeah.
They just quit paying payments, and they're like, okay, nope, I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna ignore this and brush it under the rug. And then one day they wake up and their car's on the back of a tow truck. And then it's all downhill from there. You do not want that to happen to you. Trust me on that one. So, had another thought, and I can't remember what that was, but I thought it was important, but I guess it was not as important as I thought it was. So, here it is. Here's the other thought. Now, if you get in a situation where you've lost your job, but you're in an industry, you're pretty much going to get a job back in 60 to 90 days, and you're going to be okay. And you're only going to be not making payments for a short period of time. If you can contact your lender and try to negotiate that out, if they won't negotiate, check the laws, your state laws of repossession, and what your state allows repossession to be or not be. Mm-hmm. You could actually put your vehicle in a safe, locked garage somewhere. Don't disclose what that is, but put it away for 3 to 6 months so that it can't be repossessed, and tell your lender that you'll make the payments back, and you'll catch up the payments when you get your job back, if you feel confident enough to do that. But if your state has particular laws, and don't take me for gospel on this, but I'm just saying that if you check it out in your state, you might have the opportunity to put that car away for 6 months if you love that car that much. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend selling the car and paying cash for a cheaper car.
Yeah.
That's what I would recommend doing. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
I had one while you were talking.
Did you?
It's my turn to forget what it was.
You forgot.
It wasn't a question. I just remember them doing that for us on your truck once we were behind, I want to say a couple payments actually, and I called them up and let them know what was going on, and they said, okay, we can, it's not a balloon payment, is it? I don't know, but anyway, they were able to take those 2 payments that we were late and put them at the end of our loan. So it just made us, and I think like we pay more interest that way, a little bit, right, or something, because you're paying longer than what the life of the loan is. The longer
the loan, the more interest you're going to pay.
So but I mean, like, that's what we had to do to be able to keep this truck, and so that was extremely helpful. So if you communicate, that usually will help.
Because see, a lot of people, and sometimes people will say, well, just sell it and go buy something else cheaper. Well, a lot of times people don't have an extra $2,000-$3,000 or $1,000 even to go buy another vehicle.
Exactly.
They don't have friends and family that can help them through that period of time in their life. And if it's going to be a 60-day period and you can keep your vehicle that long, to get past that period of time. Now, this is a temporary solution, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
You don't ever want to make this a habit of your life.
No.
I know some people that are just like, every 6 months, hey, can you move another payment for me?
Yeah. It's kind of the story of my student loans.
You don't want to do that. You just want to get in the mode of paying things off, and sell your vehicle that you're in debt with, buy another vehicle, and for cash, as soon as you possibly can.
As soon as you can. Save up and buy cash. And
then get in the right habits of making the right choices so that you're never in this situation again.
Yep.
Okay?
Good. All right. Bye, guys.